Guys, welcome back. We're back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about level counts and order blocks. Right, we're going to be looking at two scenarios on how you can actually annotate and demarcate your levels, right, in order to execute good trades with good risk to reward. All right, now towards the end of the video, we're also going to be talking about the giveaway. Right, remember on our previous video, we did give away a 10,000 two-phase account with Find Your FX. Now I will be giving you more details on how you can also win a 10,000 account at the end of the video. All right, so I'm going to be giving you two scenarios, right? Let's say this right here comes in as level 1, right? So this example here comes in as level 1. Also, this example here comes in as level 1. If we have identified a market to be in level 1, what we want to do is be able to anticipate, or rather wait, or rather join in the market or enter a trade as it pushes into level 2, right? Okay, so what we can see here, as I'm talking about order blocks, right, we can identify the level 1 pushing down. In this case, if we are in a down phase, this push down gives us a lower low, right? From the lower low, we have got a pullback. This pullback right here, what you can identify is an order block, right, from this area. This order block is the reason why this structure was broken, taking us into level 2, right, taking us into level 2. So that is why I always say people should wait for setups, right? Because what a person can do is, as they see this, right, this level 1, they are anticipating a level 2. And what they'll do is they'll get to the market when the market has already moved. Maybe the market is right here, and you will find people entering sales here, right? Entering sales because of FOMO, right? And not waiting for a setup. And what will usually happen is after this has broken structure, giving us a lower low, confirming the downtrend, is price will start to retrace, right? Now, as you can see, this retrace got back to the supply area. Why the supply area? This is because this is the order block which broke structure, right? This is the order block which broke structure. So this retrace rate will be waiting for a trade at this order block as we get these orders being filled, right? So when you're looking at Btmm, at the Btmm perspective, this is where you would usually find your 50 EMA playing around. This could be your 50 EMA, this could be your 200 EMA, this could be your 800 EMA, depending on your setup. All right, so that's the first scenario. Right now, the second scenario is we do have level 1, right? Level 1 has already been confirmed, right? And we want to join in, right? We've got this structure here. Remember, this level 1, as we see it push down, this becomes the lower low. Remember, we are in a down phase, right? So don't also forget that you need to understand your structure by looking at your higher time frames as well. Don't just go to the M15 and, not really understand what's happening in your higher time frames. Okay, so from here, this is our structure, our lower low. Now, as you can see, we've got this extreme structure that we have right here, which is your supply zone, right? So in the first example, as you can see, price pushed back to the extreme and then continued going down. Now on this one, what we can see, this is also another scenario whereby we can see this is a lower low, this is a lower high, price pushed down but failed to break this low, right? Meaning it reacted to this demand right here, right? Pulled back and then finally broke the structure, right? And as you can see from here, price then retraces to this zone and continues pushing down. Now, what is the difference here? The difference here is this zone here is the zone which is responsible for the break of this structure, right? So when we identify such and a good move away, remember this is level 1. So once you anticipate level 2, right? After waiting for this retrace, right? So this zone, right? As we can, once we get confirmation, right, confirmations and confluences, we can enter our trade here in anticipation of level 2, right? Now, this will not always happen all the time, right? So you need to be very selective when it comes to your trades, right? You need to understand and do a lot of back testing so you understand what works the most and what doesn't work the most. Because what will happen is most of the times it will react to this, right? Because this is a valid zone, this is an order block, it did break structure, but do not forget that we are in a down phase. So this being a lower low, this becomes your lower high, All right, do not forget that. So what will usually happen sometimes is, let me just draw again. So now I'm going to give you another example of this. All right, so what can happen is the following. If we are in a down phase, right, so this is your down phase, price is broken structure, we've got the lower high, price fails, pulls back, and finally breaks the structure. So this means we've got a break of structure right here, our extreme zone being this supply zone here, right? But the zone responsible for breaking structure being this one. What will usually happen is, right, this will be used as a trap. So this is level 1. What will happen is the dealer will pull back, right, pull back, get to the area, pull back a bit, and without even breaking the previous structure, it will push to the upside our extreme zone and then continue going down. So what has basically happened here is, as you can see, we've got eco highs right here. Right? So most retail traders are taught, to trade support and resistance, and where they put their stop losses is basically above these resistance areas. So this zone right here becomes a pool of stop losses, right? Because traders are placing their sell entries right here. Now, the reason why you need to wait for confirmation most of the time is, as price was retracing, got this high, low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, and a high, high into the supply area, right? So what would actually give you more confidence to wait for a move, or confidence rather, to wait for a move on the extreme zone, on the extreme lower high, is this low was not broken. If this low was broken, then I would wait for a confirmed entry and sell from here. But in this case, it was not broken, right? So price then pushed up to this extreme zone and then went into our anticipated level 2. All right, guys. So I hope you guys have an understanding on that with clarity. If you have questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section. Right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to be looking at some trades that I'm currently in. I took this trade last week. This is on Gbpusd. Right, and as you can see, Gbpusd has been moving up. Gbpusd has been moving up. And I'm just going to focus on the recent price action. I'm not really going to, look at that, a lot of previous data. So from this trap below the 200 EMA, as you can see, we've got a trap below this 200 EMA, which is the white EMA. We've got a peak formation. Right, from the peak formation, we've got, remember, this is your H4 time frame. We've got 1 week of rise, 1 week of rise. And I want you to notice something. Notice how the market opened. This was the opening price for the market on a Monday. That is basically around the same time the market closed on the Friday. Right, that was level 1. Right, 1 week of rise. And we also had level 2. This was level 2, giving us the second week of rise, right? But what I want you to see within this 1 week of rise is we actually can identify three pushes, right? So we've got level 1, we've got push 2, and we've got push 3. This becomes 1 week of rise. So as you can see from there, that being level 2, we did have another move up, but it's not really something crazy to the upside. Right, are still around this level 2. But one thing that I also identified was this peak reset right below the 200 EMA. So as you can see, after the peak reset, we extended with 2 more levels. So level 1, level 2, then giving us the peak formation high, or rather the high of the week. Right, so we've got the high of the week with the clear hit of the stop losses with this second leg right here. All right, second leg right here. And what we could identify is we had 1 week of drop into a consolidation. Now, what I want you to see is what we have right here. Right, so level 1 has already been set, right? And I want you to look at the structure, right? Look at the imbalance that we had right here. This candle, right? This bearish candle, right? Look at the momentum that we had. So we had imbalance right there. So this would be our order block. This would be our area of interest to actually execute a sell. Right, so remember, we have level 1, we are anticipating level 2. So as you can see, what happened here is this move here broke the previous structure. after breaking the previous structure, we then had a retracement back to the supply zone, right? We had a retracement back to the extreme in this case, right, of this structure. And as you can see from there, after confirmation, that is when I entered the trade. So if we go to the H1, this is what we can see. All right there. This was a nice information above the 50 EMA. Right, this was a nice information above the 50 EMA after the break of this structure. Right, so the break of this structure right here, we had the pullback, and that is where I entered the trade. And as you can see, I have been holding this trade for 2 days basically. So I entered on Thursday, right, which we had a nice drop to the downside, a reaction on the 800 EMA as we had a demand area right there. So expect reactions at these areas right here. I know some people probably thought this was a peak formation low and went long, but that was wrong. You need to understand your higher time frame, right? And then we had another day of drop. So let's see how it goes tomorrow, as today is Sunday as I'm recording this video. Let us see if price will push down to this 800 EMA, or we will have, you know, another move to the upside. But in this case, if we look at your weekly time frame, this is what we can identify, that the market is actually moved away from a supply area, right? But looking at the overall structure, don't forget that this high was taken out, right? This high was taken out. So we will follow structure and see how that goes. Okay, we're also going to look at Cadchf. I've been holding this trade for I think a month now, 2 months, somewhere there, and basically the same thing. This is your weekly time frame. Let's go to the daily so we can have, you know, a better understanding of what was happening. All right, so what you can see without going too far is we had this peak reset. All right, peak reset in the daily time frame, and what we can identify is one level of drop into a consolidation and with a nice pullback. And remember what I said about these level counts. If we zoom in from this level 1, this is what we can see. As price was pushing down, we've got this drop, base drop, and then this became, this right here was a supply zone. And as you can see, after breaking structure, price pulled back into that level, taking us into level 2. All right, so as you can see, my trade was right here. Why was my trade there? If we can go to the H4, this is what we can see, right? Looking at your extreme levels, price moved, right? We had this supply area right here. Right, this was a nice supply area, and we also had a QML pattern right there, right? A nice QML pattern, as you can see, high, low, higher, high, lower, low, and price pushed back. So a very simple structure. The reason why I entered this was in anticipation of another level, since we had already identified 2 levels from this peak reset, right? And also confluence to this was we had a 1350 crossover, which confirmed the lock of this peak. So this was a pullback to the 50 EMA, right? So if we zoom in on the structure, you know, just to see what was happening, what we can identify is we had a break of structure right here, right, and a pullback, right? So a break of structure, a pullback, right, in line with the structure. So always understand your market structure. A pullback, and what we can identify is we had a drop, base, drop. So this zone right here is the zone which was responsible for the break of this structure, and all these major structures that were taken out. So very important zone. This zone broke this structure, and basically also broke this structure. Not really a clean break, but you know, a wick can also be considered as a break of structure, right? Because price was there. So as you can see, I entered the trade right there, and I have been holding this for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, which is a month, right? So we will see how this one goes, but I might just, you know, take some profits on this one. As you can see, I've been trading my stop loss. So right now I'm currently, let me just check the number of pips from this area. I have secured 130 pips on this trade, and then on GU, and I've also been sharing my trades all these trades, the analysis and the explanation in our Telegram channel. If you're not part of that, be sure to check it out. Find the link in the description below. This is where you can, follow my trades and also, be part of our boot camps and weekly sessions that we have, just to cover some questions that you guys might have and also bring more value to you guys. So be sure to check out our Telegram channel and become part of the community. I mean, it's free after all, guys. Okay, so so that's what we have on Gbpusd. From this, I have trailed at I think about 40 pips, but this has moved for 100 pips. So I will see how it goes, especially if the market will actually, when the market opens, I'll actually move my stop loss just above this high. And if I'm taking out, it's still okay. I mean, it's a new week and there will always be more opportunities in the market. All right, guys, now for the account giveaway, we will be giving away another $10,000 account. It's a two-phase account with Fund Your FX, right? We did actually announce the winner on the previous video. This was Tino from Zimbabwe, right? And he did win the 10,000 two-phase account. So all the best to you. I hope you do not breach the account and actually manage to get funded, right? So all you have to do, guys, to actually stand a chance to win another $10,000 account, as we will be giving away these accounts every week, is you just have to comment below this video, leave a comment and tell us how MMK has changed your trading, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also join our Telegram channel. This is where I will be giving you more information about this giveaway, right? So be sure to join the Telegram channel. All right, guys, hope you guys have learned something from the video. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button.